waiting. Any rituals that I go through when I like
before you begin?
I normally start with scales just because they're. I don't want to say they're easy because they can be hard, but just because it gets my fingers moving kind of slow.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about my intonation, like in the very beginning. So.
Yeah.
What key would one of those be in that you wanted to play?
Well, they're all in different keys. One's in C, the other one's in that one, and the other one is in G. Oh no, one's in C. Oh, another one's in C, an octave higher, and then the other one's in
G. Let's do a C major scale. And we'll start the fourth finger on the G string. So right there.
Okay.
And we'll just play, we'll bow it. And I like to do what's called linked bowing. So it's like you do one down. So you change the note. You do like 1.5 bows per note.
Oh.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
1.5 bows. That's cool.
Well, it's kind of weird.
It's going to be fun.
Changing at different times.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how I do. I've actually never played this scale before.
That's okay.
So
you're learning something already. Okay. 1, 2, ready, play. Good. Second finger. And we'll go back down. Good. Awesome for the first time.
Yeah, good. All right.
I like to do that bowing though because then I don't think about. I'm not changing the bow and the note at the same time because if I'm going, then I have to think of different things and like I don't know if it's early in the morning I can't think that much.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have kids do that too because a lot of times their change will be at the wrong spot and it'll give a really weird squeak and then they get discouraged. And so if you do the note change so it's slurred, then that'll be more encouraging to them.
Good.
Yeah.
Here's.
What else should we do? Let's. Do you want to do some vibrato? Do you want to?
Yeah, we'll go through that. Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do something without our bow completely, just our left hand.
Okay.
And I just want to have you take. We're gonna start with your second finger and just slide it like it's called polishing the strings. So you're just sliding your hand.
Are you on just like any string?
Yeah, whatever string you want, because eventually. Have you ever taken the rubber tip off of that?
No.
That's what I have to do.
Do you usually practice here or in these practice rooms?
Yeah.
How do you take it off? Just push it, pull it off.
Yeah. It just pops off. So then the point is, well, there's already holes from other cellists, but
yeah.
I mean your point will.
That's what those holes are. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And so I would start off and have that sliding motion.
Okay.
Good. And you can feel how your
Would you
arm,
rather me face more towards you? Or?
yeah, if you can. There.
Okay.
Good. And you actually can feel the motion all the way through your back. Like, do you feel it in your shoulder blade?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit.
Not a whole lot,
Yeah.
but yeah. And so from here, I want you to start making. It doesn't matter what note you end up on, but I want you to start making it smaller. So we're gonna start really big.
Do I want to just like move that at all, or
just worry
how
about
many axes do I move? Just the elbow?
Really, just the elbow.
Okay.
You'll feel it in your shoulder, but you don't want to like do your wrist with it too.
Okay.
And make it smaller, and then until you get to a focused spot, and then you can start to push down. Yeah, yeah. That looks good. Okay. So now what I want you to do is do it while you're bowing. So.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But the thing you want to remember is that you want to still keep, you don't want to hold, like, keep pressing with your thumb, but you still want to keep it behind.
Yeah.
But then you also want to let go. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. So if I'm using my second finger, I don't want to leave my first finger on there because that leaves the space that I'm actually doing vibrato on then is now the space from this side of my first finger to the side of my second finger. And so you can't really alter the pitch very much. But if I go here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so for each one, you do it with each finger, but it's kind of, you want to make sure that you don't collapse that first knuckle.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah. So that's definitely like a strength thing, and as you continue to play, you'll build up the muscle in that knuckle on all of your fingers. Yeah, that looks good. So that's a good way to start.
Cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, doing a lot of sliding, different pitches.
And another way to, that's just like getting the whole motion set up, but eventually you want to work on controlling your speed of your vibrato and like how much you go. So you would set a metronome and you go. So I've had teachers tell me to do either like eighth notes. I think it's better to do triplets almost.
Oh yeah.
Because then you don't necessarily focus on the beat, and the vibrato's not really, it's not measured. And so, yeah, that's a good way to think of it. So.
Good. And you don't only vibrato with this middle finger, then, right? Okay.
You always do, the second finger is just easiest to balance because when you set up your hand frame, it's the thumb and your middle finger. So that's normally the easiest one to teach. The pinky is normally a challenge because it's not as strong.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the first finger is hard to balance. And so it's more of what are you going to do with your other fingers? And so a lot of times I will put my fingers on top of each other for it.
Oh.
It sounds kind of weird, but yeah.
Do you ever twist like this? Because I can't really get a whole lot of. Yeah. Yeah. Second definitely does that a lot easier. So.
Yeah, it's all about the balance of your hand. That's a huge part of vibrato is how is your hand balanced when you play. But yeah, and this is like, say you're rehearsing an ensemble and you need to work with the violins. Like you could say, cellos, I want you to do this. Polish your strings while you're doing this because you always want to keep your students engaged in something. And then they can eventually bring it in and just tell them to quietly work on their vibrato. There's a lot of like tricks. You could even tell violins to do this too. I'm not sure exactly on that technique, but
cool.
Basses do the same style of vibrato.
Yeah.
I know it takes more effort for them, obviously, but
yeah.
It's also hard to get vibrato on the lower strings to sound. And so you just have to make sure that you still keep that constant pressure. I don't like to use the word pressure, but the constant, yeah, you need to keep your finger down all the way. Because otherwise you'll get harmonics, and that's not what we want to hear. So do you want to try a different finger or string or note?
I'm going to try the first finger. That seems to be the hardest for me, I think, maybe. Yeah, let's try first finger, C string.
Okay, go for it.
So,
there you go.
A lot of times, the whole cello is moving.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good thing, but
it happens. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I feel like my whole cello starting to move, I kind of like use my legs to stop it from moving.
I was wondering if you use your legs. Yeah, if I should use my legs to stop it or not.
I mean, but not really.
I don't know. When I do it, the whole thing wobbles.
Try to make it just that, like, motion.
Yeah.
Like up and down, but not really involving not pushing forward.
Okay.
With your thumb. Because your thumb's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that change it?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not moving.
Why don't you try your third finger?
Okay.
On
How straight do you keep your back? All the way straight?
Sitting kind of weird on this chair. But it depends. I sit up comfortably.
I think this could be.
So if I were to take this, like if my back were all the way straight, I feel like I would be really tense in my lower back, and so I kind of just I sit up comfortably.
Okay.
So
yeah, this is comfortable for me. So.
Good.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah, and this could be fun too, because you could do all the instruments. You start them off like just so they're touching it, so they get all the harmonics. So you could be like. And so that's also something you'll use to get them going for shifting too. I think Dr. Hendricks did those. What did she call them? Sirens or something?
Yeah. I've missed 5 classes so far. Oh man, bad me. What an example I am. So I probably missed that.
That's okay. But I think she used that to help with shifting too. But it does help with vibrato.
That's cool. That's everything I need to know to make a vibrato.
Yeah. I don't think it's that hard. I think it gets hard when you start talking about the change in color, like, because you can change the color in your vibrato, and honestly, I'm not very good at it. So, like, if I were to, I get to go, or I can loosen it up and.
Yeah, I was blown away when I saw this YouTube video of that. I don't know if you heard of him, but there was a movie about him who, like, he went to New York and was in. He's just like a genius, but he like had some kind of mental problem. And he played cello, and oh man, it's beautiful. You just went. His vibrato was humongous, though.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I think I know what movie you're talking. But.
I don't know. But he like went crazy while he was in Juilliard.
Was it the Soloist or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. But vibrato's fun. Makes your music more interesting.
Cool. Vibrato. So, do I want to move into a repertoire?
Sure.
Something. Out of here, or?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, I can play the stuff I played today.
How did you feel about it today?
Yeah. I didn't spend enough time on it, but it's alright.
We can go through some of it.
I didn't focus much on all the musical markings. So we got Rigodon and Simple Gifts in America.
So, how did you approach the dynamics?
And I forget that's just fingering, right?
Is that a 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's because the book maybe hadn't introduced a whole lot of C string. So.
How did I feel about dynamics?
Yeah.
Bad. That's probably the worst thing.
Okay. So, before we even start,
there are 3 ways to produce a good 10.
Are there? I don't know. I like dynamics. You can. Well, how do you think you produce dynamics?
Okay. Well, you can. The distance from the bridge determines the closer you are, kind of the tone more, and then speed of the bow and weight of the bow.
Yeah. All those are perfect. There's one spot on. I don't want to say just one, but there's my Dr. Opie always jokes around. He's like, find your sweet spot. And so it's like the spot where you can get the loudest sound with the least amount of effort on your instrument. And it's somewhere about here. For me, it's different on every cello. And so what he had me do to find this was put my bow like this and slide it down. And so it's about there. But you pull your bow as if you're playing. Yeah. And so this can also help, like, if you have a student who's really tense in the bow hand, you can use this. You can even, like, let your hand be the guiding and let them, like, not use any of your thumb, because that's where the tension will be. Like my fingers, my thumb's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
So without even using any pressure with your thumb to make your bow, then you get that loud sound. There's that sweet spot for every cello, and that's probably where your best forte for this kind of playing will be. And so that's always something cool to happen too, because they're like, what? I'm playing up here? And you wanna until you get a chord. There's a certain point where you go too far and you can't get a chord to a sound. So that's where I have chord wise set. And if I go further, I lose it.
Yeah, I think a big problem was I was getting too close. Been doing that
Yeah.
quite a bit. Yeah. Like my thumb. Do you have like a big callus on the tip of your thumb here?
No, but I've pushed away like part of my bow right here.
Yeah, I guess I don't have very big.
Yeah, you don't have much room to like move that.
Yeah, I just yeah, like there's just I have a big callus on the tip now because I have to put a lot of my thumb feels really tense. So.
Yeah, you could even if your thumb feels tense, you could even try sliding. I don't recommend playing like this for a whole lot of time, but just like to relax your hand in your thumb, slide your pinky behind your frog. Your other fingers are still gonna have that same frame that they need to be, but your pinky's just creating. Yeah, like you don't have to use your thumb. And then throw your thumb back down. And then eventually throw your pinky back over. So that'll give yourself a break and also a reminder, like, I don't need to press with my thumb. Like, that's been a huge thing that I've had to work on.
Yeah.
So.
That, like, I pressed on this one. I don't know. I got just as much volume without pressing there, so that's good.
Yeah. So, let's play through this.
Okay.
How fast do you want to take it?
Now, let's see.
Okay. Good. You got all the notes. So it's like you have all the notes. All you have to do is add in the musicality part, which it's always good to practice both at the same time. I don't know. I used to never do that. I used to be like, oh, I'm just gonna get all the notes and then I'm gonna add in the bowings and then I'm gonna add it. No, that's a bad idea.
Add in the bowings? How do you add in? What do you mean?
Like
bowings?
That sign up top being the down bow.
You would just get. You wouldn't even worry about that.
I didn't even worry about that, but that affects your tone. So you should probably work on that when you work on sight reading it. But don't forget the little apostrophe is to retake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then how do you do your staccatos?
Oh yeah, I couldn't see him now, so I didn't do it.
That's okay.
All I do is just stop early. I don't know. Yeah. Good.
Okay.
So how do you do
I feel like when I do staccatos, I almost accent it too, but I don't. I don't know. I still.
Do you roll a little bit?
make sure that you're playing quarter notes that are staccato instead, because it almost sounds like
Russian.
It almost sounds like, you know, the eighth note and then eighth rest, eighth note, eighth rest.
Oh yeah.
So instead of
Okay.
So you still want to give it the full value.
Yeah.
I think staccatos are more of a control. Like it's short and controlled. And so you almost cut it off at like I don't know how to describe it. If you were to like a 16th of the note. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Scratch that.
Yeah.
It's short and controlled.
Okay.
But still the length of the note. But still the same value. Do you feel like you tense up when you do staccatos?
I don't think I'm any more tense than when I am just playing.
Okay, good.
So, no, I don't know. I just go. But I think maybe just more like emphasis on the down on the start of the note, on the ictus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not necessarily an accent, but just more emphasis on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has more of a head than a
tail.
Why don't we play it again? But this time we'll make it a duet, and I'm gonna play the bottom line of the piano line. Okay.
Okay. That way we won't hear the intonation so bad. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Maybe a little pinch slower.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
Good.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, just not comfortable playing yet.
That's okay.
Yeah, cool. How would you think? Anything on my technique that?
I think
all kinds of stuff. I think just my bow hand is really bad, but
your bow hand, it looks fine, but if it feels weird,
it feels really tense. You know, like my thumb always feels like it's
like right
pressing.
after you're done, you're just like, oh my thumb hurts.
It's really not here. It's really just like the tip.
Like the
It's
tip?
just like
Oh yeah. I don't know. My nail gets in the way from me doing it. But I don't know, just like sliding your pinky behind every once in a while, reminding yourself that it doesn't take that much weight.
Yeah.
Like I think my biggest problem was in orchestra. I would play for so long and I'd be like this and I'd be done and I'd be like, man, my thumb hurts. And but then Dr. Opie told me to start like sliding my pinky behind, and I've actually stopped doing that because now I'm used to playing a whole rehearsal without pressing. But it was kind of I didn't know I was pressing, and so that makes you aware. Like you play one piece and then you switch and you play another, or you play when you can, like with your pinky behind, just to remind you, like you don't have to use that much weight. And then also this whole find your sweet spot kind of, it really helped me realize like I don't need my thumb to create a loud sound.
I getting loud enough though if I do that?
You're getting loud enough, and you're getting a lot better at core in your sound. Because if you're not getting, I say core in your sound. I don't know. Do you understand that? Okay, so
I thought you said core in your sound.
Yeah, core in your sound, multiple words. Like, if you're not getting much.
Oh, is that what you said?
Sound, yeah.
Oh, that is what I thought you said. And then I thought you said cornier sound.
No, core in your sound.
Core. Okay.
Yeah. But you can hear a lot more of the overtones.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, your bow, like if you were to look at your hairs with a microscope, they actually have little teeth on them that like the hairs do, and that's what causes the friction. And so the rosin just helps grab more, and so you want to activate that with the weight of your hand, not by pushing, but just the weight of your hand. Otherwise, you're just kind of tickling your strings and not getting your full sound. The hard thing is to add your fingers. Because when you start doing two things at once, your brain has to think. Here, my pressure has to be good enough so I'm not like, or also, once I get that done, I have to get, is my bow really grabbing and activating my string? So, those are just some things to think about.
Cool.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your time?
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I'm sorry for taking so long.
That's okay. It's okay. I like doing these lessons because it's like helpful for you guys, but it's also helpful for me because I do want to teach cello lessons. So. Just like, what can I tell people? What can I help them with?
You've taught 4? That's how many points? Like 80? Or
I don't know.
Professional development.
I think it's 80. I'm not worried about my points too much.
Probably 100. Yeah, I guess not.
Also, I did one with Jeff, but he forgot to record it, so he's doing another one with Jacob.